Hey y'all, Bearded Rose Golf Show back at it again. I am Rod.
I'm Marcus.
And I'm Michael.
Welcome on in, everybody. I know most people, if they're sports fans, are watching the CFPB championship game. So maybe we get some folks coming in later, or maybe you just don't give a damn about football, which has kind of been my vibe here as of late. Just hadn't been the same, but looks like they got a pretty good game going on. How was you guys' week?
It was good. I'm actually watching the Pistons Celtics game. It's on NBC. It's actually a very heated game. It's way more important than the college football playoff.
That's right. Marcus, if for those that don't know, is in a secret relationship with Cade Cunningham.
Detroit basketball, turn me up.
It's not strange or weird at all. How about you,
It's
Mike?
not.
Uh, Good. And then it kind of went bad. You know, Fortunately, my Texans are out of the playoffs. That's okay. They made the playoffs. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get passionate about the topic because I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna say this one time. Quit the CJ Stroud slander. It's only his third season, and he's made the playoffs three times since a rookie. So that is all I'm gonna say for now. But it was a good Texans season, made the playoffs, could have made it to Super Bowl, but we're not going to get into that right now. But
Yeah,
yes,
I don't even I'm not, Texans lore is not even on my social media feeds, and I saw some CJ Stroud slander, so shows how
yes,
prevalent it is out there right now,
Yeah, it's
unfortunately.
pretty
we'll
strange.
I will get into it at the end of the show when we stop talking
Okay,
about golf.
when we get to the bonus. All
Yes,
right, cool beans. I worked a little hard this week. We got graphics, we got new stuff that we're bringing in this week. So let's kick it off. The Dubai Invitational was the official start of the golf season, due to the time and where they're located. So, um, kind of this encapsulates what happened. We got Nacho Elvera, who ended up winning. You got Shane Lowry ended up taking a drop on 18, finishing with a double bogey. Had a chance to get himself into a possible playoff with Elvira. And Rory just kind of doing what Rory does, plays consistent golf. The QI4D in play. We talked about it. We're going to talk about another driver here later that hit the streets this week and getting a lot of hype. So let's jump into it. I mean, overall, I mean, this is a kind of a good start to the season. A lower prize pool tournament. Then we'll have the big boy this coming week, in Dubai as well. How much of the Dubai Invitational did you guys get to take in? I know I got to watch the final day and watch the debacle. So, how about you all?
I watched a good bit about it. A good bit of it. I didn't get to see the finish. I thought I was gonna be able to get a chance to watch the replay. For whatever reason, I don't think I did. But I mean, Rory was charging. Then he had some hiccups.
Fizzle. Yeah.
Um, Shane Lowry was tied for the lead the last time I checked. Then he buggied. Then he was back up. So yeah, it was a very tumultuous last day. I mean, overall though, it was a great tournament. I mean, it was more win than I expected, but the conditions were good. I mean, the course presented well. I mean, I felt like it was one of the cooler courses that they play out there. I mean, it's not one that you really pay attention to until that week, and then all of a sudden you're like,
Right.
oh, okay, this is a decent little course that they're playing.
No doubt. How about you, Mike? I know you've picked up your viewing of the DP World Tour. Did you catch any of the tourney this past weekend?
yes. I was only able to watch highlights.
Okay.
But no, I think overall it was a great tournament. Shout out to the winner who took it all. I think he played pretty well, especially in the last day. Just unfortunate for Shane Lowry just to kind of have that just make that double at the end and just kind of kill the momentum. But I expected to see more from Rory. However, though, this is an equipment change, so I mean, it may take a little bit more time for him to get used to those TaylorMade P7 CBs, even though he's been testing them for who knows how long. But you're so accustomed to seeing a thinner top line, a thinner sole, maybe different um, technology when it comes to how his blades were made to what he's currently playing. So it just could be an adjustment period, and regardless, he will always play good golf. Now, will he follow up the previous season? Who knows? But his game is there, and I think he's definitely going to be fighting for wins on the DP when he is in Europe, and then on the PGA Tour as well.
So that's an interesting point. Didn't even think about this honestly, but what does a successful season for Rory look like? After winning the Masters last year, wrapping up the career Grand Slam, um, first major in 11 years. What does a really successful season look like for Rory? If he doesn't get a major, is it a good season? Or, let's say he gets a couple of wins, um, wins an elevated event or something like that, but has no majors. Does he need another major to theoretically have a quote unquote successful season this year?
I think probably in his mind he would want one. But do I think he needs another major? No, I don't think so. But I think he would want one. I also think that if he just wins this season, I think that'll be good for him. Because I mean, it like we said, there's just so much emotion that came out after the Masters that it was a big I mean, it wasn't even a real letdown the rest of the season because we saw him like middle of the summer. He's still celebrating. He's out on the boat in Saint Tropez, just enjoying his time. So I don't think he needs another major right away, but I know in his mind he probably wants to bounce back and continue on that trend now that he's opened the door of winning big time again. So won 3 times. One was the Players, one was the freaking the Masters. And then the other win was an elevated event. So he
Right.
won big money. He probably won, 12 million in his 3 wins that he
Easy.
had. So I
I
think
mean, easy.
yeah, I think the wins that he has will mean something. I think it'll be, on that elevated stage again. It's hard to go back to back on the Players. I think Scotty is the last person to do it. And I don't even know if he
And that
did
was one
that.
year before that.
Yeah, so who knows? But I think he'll win a major. But do I think he needs a major to make it a successful season? No.
Damn, that's a good reminder actually before we get fully cranked into the season. To get y'all's major picks. We had a pretty full show today, so didn't get that included, but we will do that. Mike, what do you think? What does a successful season for Rory look like for you as someone
Um,
judging from the outside?
I mean, in my opinion, I think a successful win or a successful season for Rory is at least I would say same thing, like 3 wins, three to 5 wins. That's usually where he's always been, whether it's a major or an elevated event. I think what he's done so far in his career leading up to the win of the Masters is he's done great. I mean, I wouldn't say that all the other seasons were like luster or not as good, but in my opinion, it's tough to win another major the consecutive year. Um, I mean, there's only like the first person that comes to my mind, of course, is Tiger and Scheffler. But now that more people are starting to knock on the door, it's not going to be as easy to have that great season where you can just win anything and everything with Scheffler being super consistent. Now Tommy Fleetwood has opened the door to where he has his first PGA Tour win. And who is to say that he's not in contention to win any of the 4 majors coming up this year? Um, so and we're starting to see guys like Gotterup and guys who are starting to establish themselves on the tour really come out and put up a performance that is kind of what the PGA Tour is against, sort of, where all these no names now making a name for themselves, or smaller guys making a bigger name for themselves, are performing and playing at a higher level, equal to, or if not somewhat better than some of the bigger names that or the more established names on tour. It's going to be a tough season for sure. A lot of rookies this year. David Ford made his appearance at the Sony. Um, Luke Clanton was in the field as well. So it's not going to be an easy season. I think this 2026 season is going to be probably one of the tougher ones. But he will always he'll definitely win one or two elevated events and be in contention at a major. I think so, in my opinion.
Yeah, very fair. Speaking of the PGA Tour, this week they teed it up in Hawaii, which is the reason we are going a day later than our usual. They were still playing at our usual slot on Sunday night in the U.S. in the States. So Chris Gotterup eventually ended up coasting to victory. Really wasn't under pressure. Ryan Gerard made a little late push to try to put some pressure on him, but overall, pretty much coasting, especially on the back nine on Sunday. But we'll talk about it next. I mean, this is Gotterup's third professional win. Got himself the Scottish Open late last year. I forget the first tournament that he won, but like you mentioned, I mean, there's a bunch of young gunners coming out performing well. His distance is just different. I mean, he was really taking advantage of the short dog legs, just kind of taking it over corners. Again, just taking some irons off of tees where just necessary, playing an easy game. The last half of his round looked really easy, like he was coasting.
Yeah.
Big potential for this kid going forward. Um, Marcus, what are your thoughts on the Sony Open? Course didn't. It was interesting. It didn't look as sharp as it usually does. There were some rough spots, and the greens didn't look as pristine as we're used to from Wildlife, but nevertheless, still a good tournament and always a good, typically not the kickoff to the season. This is typically week number two. But what are your thoughts on this week?
Yeah, it was a little bit bittersweet for me. Like I was excited. I was excited to see the PGA back, but I was a little bit, bittersweet because I just I don't know. We were missing that new elevated event. I like that Tournament of Champions is elevated now, which brings it almost to about 60 players. I really like that. I really like that now. So I, I I'm more kind of thinking about that in the back of my brain more so than the actual week of this going on. But I mean, we talked about it last week. We were all really excited to see Vijay Singh and glad he was able to make the cut and ended up cashing out a little bit. 30K makes it worth it. There's no way around it. 30K makes it work. That covers all your expenses. Plus, you're on the positive starting out the season first week. We know he's not. We know he's going to pick and choose some of his favorite courses that are out on the tour. So it's not like he's out here wasting his time or wasting events. So I don't really get why people are saying that he's going to be kind of in the way or wasting a start for some of these people. I felt like that's kind of just disrespectful if you know the history of the game and the pedigree that Vijay Singh plays at. I know I went off on a tangent, but I just really had that on my heart. But overall, for the Sony Open, I definitely wasn't as impressed as I usually am with Wildeye, as you mentioned. I definitely back that up. It didn't have its usual star look to it. So I mean, it's a good kickoff though. They're in Hawaii. The family's out there. It's a half vacation. It's just the warm up before they get into the meat of it. We'll be in California next week for the American Express. So, you
Yep.
move on, you keep going. So,
Yep.
yeah,
How's my sound? Is that better?
There you
Sorry,
go.
I had my AirPods, I think, connected. Thanks, team. Mike and Marcus. Tell me when my crap's jacked up. Appreciate you,
I
Andy.
heard, I heard. No, I heard you. I'm just used to Mike being so loud that it was a reprieve that you were kind of quiet this time compared
How
to him.
Marcus?
What a.
Ah,
Mike, did you get to watch any of the Sony Open this week?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. I was, even though I stayed up, I mean, usually I go to bed really late, but I stayed up and caught some of the coverage. Um, Great course. I actually like Hawaii just because of how, even though it's on the shorter side of what these guys are normally going to play at in the meat of the season, um, it's still not an easy course. Yeah, you can really
Mhm.
get active on it, and you can. It's if your wedges are not in play, then it's a problem. Also getting off the tee as well, just because of the just how the course sets up as well. Everybody's talking about, Vijay Singh being in the field, as well as, this is Chris Gotterup's third victory on tour, but also Austin Riley put up a beautiful putting performance, rocking the new Phantom 9.2. He putted really well, just really didn't have a good Sunday, and Gotterup just got hot and really took over. And I think, and we always talk about this, about the evolution of the mallet. It's starting to really speak numbers of how many players on tour have now transitioned to a mallet and are just
Mhm.
seeing more consistent putts go in, longer putts go in as well. Um, but I mean, it's unfortunate that Austin Riley couldn't close it out. But overall, in my
Davis
opinion, he
Riley.
had Davis Riley. I'm sorry, had the had a just a beautiful exhibition with the putter. Um, yeah,
Sweet. Yeah. I wanted to do a really good what's in the bag for Chris Gotterup, but even the man winning three tournaments, nobody's really jumping on his what's in the bag. So I have limited pictures. I did throw together his what's in the bag. I do want to put these beauties up here. So this is a new iron release. I think they have three different versions out there from Bridgestone. Their first release of iron since 2019, and they're beautiful. This is about as pure as it gets from a forged iron, and this is what Chris Gotterup has in the bag. So let's get to the full bag itself. Here's Chris Gotterup. He's a meaty for when you look at PGA Tour statures. He's a meaty boy. He can move it around. He's not your just super svelte type of guy. Got the Brooks Koepka arms going on. Little bit of a little stomach going on, but I mean in shape overall. But again, just not your typical tour profile.
Yeah.
Still playing the Ping G440 LST at 9 degrees with the Project X Hazardous Smoke Black, RDX at 70 with the Tour X Flex. I know, Marcus, you've talked about recently here the Project X being kind of an underrated shaft in the driver these days. I mean, can't really go wrong with this with the Ping driver. I mean, it's going to be one of the most reliable out on tour. Ping's going to have to get their game stepped up, which we'll get into later. The numbers coming out of drivers in 2026 are kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Any thoughts here, guys, on the driver setup for Chris?
Mike.
um, yeah. I mean, great setup. I mean, I currently play the 440 LST. I'm always finding a fairway. It's a great head. Yes, it's on the spinnier side, but that's just how Ping is designed. They're always going to be the more forgiving driver. They're not really going to be distance
Mm-hmm.
chasers. They have, incorporated some newer technology into the driver, that makes it even more forgiving. So, I mean, I can understand. Also, that Project X, Smoke Black RDX, it was probably one of the more sought out shafts in its initial release. Now there are more players that kind of switched to the Gen 4 just because they changed up, the release of the shaft where it's a little bit more stiffer in the tip section. Whereas this RDX Black it's going to be stiffer the whole way through. Whereas, in other shafts, they're going to play a little bit different.
When you
But
when you mention tip, what do you mean for the beginner golfers that we have in chat from time to time? Make sure you're just kind of
oh,
going through. Like, is
yes,
that the lower section or the higher section? I mean,
the
we know
lower
what it
section.
means, but yeah,
Yes. So like the lower section where like the head meets the adapter, or the driver meets the bottom of the shaft. That's usually, and that is also not to say that there are multiple things that you can do to shafts, like tipping them. So that's like, if, like, let's say driver shaft comes in at 46 inches raw length before the install. So what you can do to make it even stiffer is you can take an inch, a quarter inch, a half inch, to make that bottom piece stiffer, so it slows down the release. So
perfect.
there's a lot of things that it can be done to driver shafts, and that is not to say that Gotterup has something special. And he's probably tipped it, or maybe he hasn't tipped it, but yeah, it's overall still one of the great shafts that unfortunately is out of production, and but it's of course to the general public, but just not, for the guys on tour, they get whatever they want whenever they want.
Right. Cool. Let's move on to the next club. Couple of clubs again. Limited pictures. A little bit of a mixed bag. He is a. I mean, he's technically, they call him a Bridgestone staffer, but he's only playing the ball and the iron. So everything else, a little bit mixed up here. TaylorMade burner mini copper with the 13.5 degree. Again, that smoke black Project X, and then the TaylorMade QI 35, which again, I mean, we didn't hear as much complaints about the 3 woods, 5 woods, 7 woods in the QI 35 last year. Just mainly the driver was where people had some quibbles. He has that at 18 degrees with the Mitsubishi Diamana whiteboard 83 Tour X Flex. Any thoughts here on these two clubs? His mini driver and the what is that, 5 wood?
Yeah, I mean, I think that plays into his bag. I mean, doesn't need a 3 wood. He'll probably take that off the tee, or coming into greens with the mini burner and with the mini driver and stuff like that. It's a really nice club. If you don't have a problem, hitting down on the ball with your woods, then the mini burner, the mini driver is definitely the way to go. I mean, me personally, I really just started feeling comfortable with my 3 wood, so I typically just hit mine off the tee. But I go in and out. But like, a
Yeah,
guy like Mike, we were talking about it today. We played because of the holiday, but he's even got driver off the deck in the bag. Some people are, they got that talent like that. I don't have that confidence.
no, driver off the deck is, you got to be a bit ballsy to go
Yeah,
there.
that's some
I'm gonna
skill.
get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Mike, before I get off this boring slide with no pictures?
Yeah. So I mean, talking about mini drivers, there's a lot of players playing the mini driver. Fleetwood has the R7 quad. Gotterup with the mini burner. Ping is circulating their mini driver prototype. So there were a lot of players that had it in the bag this week. Like Finau had it in the bag. Another Ping staffer had it. So we're starting to see the year of the mini driver. Now, in my opinion, I don't want such deep of a face. I mean, it's a lot of
No.
face that you got to deal with. That's why I prefer my Ping G440 Max. It's a little bit shallower. If I need to hit it high, if I need
Yeah.
to hit it low, it does what it does. But for those guys that generate, much more faster ball speeds, it makes sense for them. Now, that doesn't mean that your average Joe, just because you see Tommy Fleetwood or those guys have a mini driver, that you should get it. It's not geared to everybody's, gameplay. So tour players are starting to use it, but that doesn't mean that we, as like the
Right.
average person, should use it because of the difficulty it takes to hit those mini drivers.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is one of those trends that people should probably stay away from. I think
It's a
when we
boutique
talk
club.
about, yeah, we'll talk about Vijay Singh's bag, which I think is probably more in line with what most AMs with, slightly lower swing speeds should be tailoring their bag towards.
Yeah.
So again, I mentioned those irons, the first ones out from Bridgestone in quite a bit. And again, it's just an attractive club. Nothing surprising with the setup here, 4 through 9, playing the KBS C taper at 130. So interesting. I mean, he's just nothing crazy. I mean, there wasn't anything super unique about the setup. But what do y'all think about the look of this iron?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, like me and Rod have talked about this many times before. I don't care how good I get. The blade will never be for me. The MB is just it's a club that I can admire from afar and know that it is not for me. I definitely like the look of their CB as well though that they dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just as pure. It's a thinner top line. It's a compact shape just like that. But I mean, Gotterup's got his game dialed, man. I mean, the C taper 130 is going to keep the ball low. I mean, he knows how to play the trajectory that he's on. He always plays a fade. It's definitely, right up his alley, especially for that. So, those are probably pro lofted clubs. So him keeping them down isn't going to be an issue, even though the clubs are higher lofted. So I definitely think that plays right into. I mean, these guys are so dialed in that they don't need to get fit anymore. It's just a plug and play type still. New
Yeah.
head, cuter look, but same shafts. Nothing I need to change.
Yep. Wasn't able to get a great picture, but has the TaylorMade MG5s in the bag. I mean, you're seeing the pitching wedge of 46, 52, 56, and 60, so not uncommon professional gapping there. We're seeing most pitching wedges move towards that 47, 46. I don't think we've seen a 45 in a while, but definitely going a lot lower lofted than most, especially with these modern lofts that we're seeing. So, I mean, the MG5 is I mean, it's out there. There's so many good clubs in the world. I mean, before we could pretty much say, okay, everybody's going to put a Vokey in the bag, but Ping's wedges have been really good. TaylorMade's wedges have been really good. Of course, you got Cleveland wedges, the RTX lineup that is amazing. So, in terms of clubs, we are in really the golden age where you can go to any manufacturer and you're going to get a quality product. You're not going to get anything that's kind of out of line. But the MG5s have won quite a few tournaments so far. I even think randomly Ben Griffin's got some MG5s, some TaylorMades in the bag. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about his wedge setup here?
I mean, they're forged. I mean, not a lot of wedges are forged anymore. I mean, the Vokies at one point were like, I mean, but that was so many generations ago. We're talking SM5, SM6 type days. So we're up on a decade going away from forged Vokie wedges. So them bringing back that forged soft feel, just being able to, manufacture more spin around the green, more grab and stuff like that. I definitely think that's what's going to pull people more towards them. That's again why kind of Cleveland is getting a leg up in the game. They've always been, really good spin producers and stuff like that. I mean, it just zips. The ball just rips back with the Cleveland. So I think the same thing it can be said about the MG5. I mean, a lot of people were already making the move to TaylorMade wedges with the MG4. So they
Yeah,
only went up with the MG5. Mike, what do you think
yeah,
about the wedge game right now?
I think we're in a really special like era where um
So many competitors, bro.
correct. When it comes to like currently I have the RTZs in my bag and I thoroughly enjoy them. The SM11s are coming out with new, like how they how they're kind of changing their their groove patterns and different wedges get different groove patterns just to get more spin in certain areas. The MG5 since the MG3 to the MG5, they have been cover killers. They will tear the golf ball
Mm,
up. Like it'll really scuff them up after 2 or 3 uses after the wedges, and that just shows the sharpness of the grooves that TaylorMade is producing to get to be a competitor in the wedge game. Because for so long Cleveland has always been considered the number one wedge in golf, and I would say after that would be Vokey, and then TaylorMade has kind of brought up the rear next to Callaway. But with what they're doing nowadays, in terms of the raw face and all that, I think they're doing a really good job. As well as we're starting to see more common on tour, the 46, the 48s, taking the pitching wedge out of it. And it's probably just for a little bit
hmm
more workability, a little bit more feel, something more consistent that they're usually seeing. Now, again, does that mean that the average Joe should be playing a 46? No. Lofts are a little different from these guys to what we see in stores. But that is to say that you shouldn't play a 48 or a 46. If you are more comfortable looking at that kind of style of wedge instead of a pitching wedge, then by all means go ahead. It's a completely different, realm from like mini drivers and zero torques. But we're starting to see no more pitching wedges, as well as other things that we're starting to see
yeah.
no more of.
I think we'll see that in the Vijay Singh bag, that the number on the club doesn't necessarily matter anymore. It's just, your personal setup, your gapping. Um, I play a lower, lofted pitching wedge, but that's what fits in my bag. I go 58, 54, 50 on my, wedges, and then my pitching wedge is in that 46, 47 range. So it just depends on what your setup is. And I think with some of these longer guys, this is a typical setup that we've seen, especially when we've been going through these what's in the bags, is that you're going to see a wedge setup similar to this one. The putter, we got the TaylorMade Spider Tour X or X Tour. They were really touting his putting, that he had a really good putting week as well. I don't know if that's in week out with Chris Gotterup. I have to, pay a little bit more attention to his game week in, week out. But as you mentioned, the mallet putters are dominating the game. I think we'll probably see. Yeah, I think when we looked back on it last year, there were maybe only 3 to 5 winners with a bladed putter. This is just
Yeah.
what it is these days. These guys all strike the ball pretty damn well. So once you get on the greens, it's up to proximity and just holding out putts. And he was able to do that. You can see he's had this one in the bag for quite a bit. When you see this kind of wear on a spider with the black paint pretty much gone, also pretty consistent in his setup, which most of these pros are. Same thing. Routine is heavy. See a little bit of lead tape there on the bottom as well. Um, yeah, I mean nothing to write home about, but why lose strokes by not using a mallet putter?
Right. Don't
I do
make the
want
game harder.
to right. I do want to jump to this last slide here. So he's playing the new Bridgestone VS Black prototype. They're supposed to drop an announcement. I looked on the Bridgestone Instagram page before, and they just still had this little feature with Tiger up there. So they're coming out with a new ball to replace the Tour BX. We'll see if it's a replacement or a completely new, or if they're just kind of moving it forward in terms of models. Are you excited, Marcus? I know you're still playing the Bridgestones.
I am excited. I keep trying to get Michael to break the rules a little bit, but he is not trying to lose his job, so he won't break out the Bridgestones for me. But yeah, I think he already has them in the closet. They've already dropped them, and I mean, same thing that you get from every OEM. Couple miles an hour of ball speed that you get produced, more controllable spin with it. So yeah, I'm really excited to try it out and see how it relates to the Pro V1 that I also play. Also a real big fan of that ball right now. It definitely, I definitely still think that the BXS still has more green side spin, more rip around as far as like how I like to play wedge shots, check
Yeah.
release, one hop stop. I just don't produce enough grip myself, and Mike will tell you that, and you've seen it before. So I need a spinnier ball. The Pro V1 is great off the tee, great, with the iron play, but just not my favorite around the green. So playing the
Mm.
Bridgestone BXS really, kind of excites me. So I'm excited to see what it does, and it should be end of the month, I'm pretty sure, is when it drops. So it's pretty close.
Yeah. We shall see. So that is Chris Gotterup, what's in the bag again. Wish I had more photos of some of those other clubs, but hopefully one of these websites that's on site at tournaments gives the man a little bit more love. Let's keep it moving here. So you mentioned it, Marcus. We'll hit the we hit heavy on Vijay Singh and what we expected from his season. We said he's going to do better than most people would have expected. So for us, him making the cut was not a surprise. I think having 3 out of 4 rounds in the 60s, pretty damn good for a 62-year-old man. I sent Marcus a Instagram video that it was like a slideshow. Marcus had watched it already. I saw that he had liked it, but he didn't look old until he tried to climb up some stairs. Out on the course,
Right.
Vijay Singh looks as spry, and I mean, he's got the length on the swing like nobody else. Like that man has not lost any flexibility up top at all. Still gets the ball moving. Again, makes the cut, ends up T40, takes home 30. Let me get the exact number.
Almost 31K or
31,000,
something.
31,522. Pretty good for a week in Hawaii. I think he had a residence in Hawaii. I don't know if he's still staying there, but uh, the old man doing his thing, man. I don't think we're going to see him every single week. It's just not a schedule that he can probably keep up with and still play at a high level. But a pretty good debut for his season. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, they even the PGA, I'm pretty sure, posted a clip of him hitting a ball 330 off the tee. I mean,
Yeah,
dog, that really should have put a lot of this shit to rest. The dude just hit it 330, and a lot of that was still in the air. Yeah, it had a lot of chase, probably,
right.
60, 70 yards of chase, but 62 years old, carrying the ball 270, bro. Listen, put that shit to rest, bro.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear
right.
any more
There were a lot of
hateration.
haters. There was a lot of haters in that comment
Yeah,
section talking about the
yeah, bro.
fairways were hard, and it's like, okay, well, everybody else is experiencing the same thing as well.
Yeah,
So
bro.
give the man his propers. Yeah. What did you think, Mike, of VJ's performance? Any surprises or any additional comments there?
No, I think he did what he was supposed to do. He made the cut. He walked out of it with a paycheck. Um, and I mean, I don't think people really realize how firm greens and fairways are when they set them up for tournaments. How much true roll. I mean, and we live in Texas, so that is already firm ground. Carry it X amount and get 20 to 30, yards of roll. But I mean, come on, 62 still hitting at 330. I mean, I'm 24. Like in all honesty, me being trying to be a professional and aspiring pro, and if I played with VJ tomorrow, I'd probably get throttled. I'd probably get throttled.
Right.
Yeah, he's
He will,
cooking.
Right.
Yeah,
he will
he's cooking
throttle
a lot of
me.
folks.
He will outdrive me. He will, and who cares? Who cares? I mean, who cares? He did what he was supposed
Right.
to do.
Take
Yeah, it's fine.
he utilized the institutional knowledge that he has gained over a lifetime
Yeah,
of playing this game,
absolutely.
and like shout out to him. I mean, it's awesome. I'm so all for all the people who said he should not be taking a spot away from somebody else. Please shut up. Like, please. He's
Done.
doing his thing.
I'm
Had he missed the cut, I, maybe I would give you some credence, but yeah, he did his thing. All right, let's
like I
get into
said.
his what's in the bag. This one I am actually excited about. Lots of pictures. very eclectic, just a little bit of everything in VJ's bag. And again, as I mentioned earlier, probably a bag setup that most amateurs should probably cater to and or move towards just because there's a lot of woods in this bag. Just right off the top, um, they had a comparison, or this what's in the bag was kind of pieced together from his PNC championship, which was early December, but he was already playing the quantum at that point. Marcus is probably gonna like we talked about lofts last week. So he's got the Callaway Quantum Triple Diamond at 8.5 on the shaft, but playing it at bless you, playing it at 7.5 degrees. There was
Michael,
another driver. There was another one. I think he's dropped as low as 6.5 before.
That's wait, no, bro, that's
Fujikar.
at 6.5. That's minus
So
two.
he does have it at six and a
That's
half,
6.5.
which is
Jesus
nuts,
Christ.
which is crazy.
Oh,
So I guess he plays back and forth with different lofts, but yeah, Fujikar Atmos Tour Spec Black 5 Tour X shaft. What do you think about that 6.5, Mike? What kind of numbers? Like
whoa.
clearly he can get the ball in the air, so he's taking a lot of loft off to go to 6.5.
Right. I so that I mean that's what I'm talking about. A 6.5 driver at his speed, he was spin rate is probably going to float 1,800 to about 22,000, and that's where you're going to see all that rollout, and that's where it benefits him. Where he may not put up carry numbers like the younger guys on tour, but he will still chase out the number that he needs. Um,
Yeah,
Honestly, Callaway has brought out a quality product this year that I'm actually really happy to talk about later when we get to that later in the
yeah,
segment. But quality driver, I do like how it looks. It sets up a little bit more like the AI smoke. But overall, I mean, he's still playing a low launch, low spin shaft. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter, and it's in a TX. It's a Tour X, so it's a little stiffer than the extra stiff. But at 62 years old, playing a TX is, I mean, like Marcus said, put it to rest. It just proves the point even more.
right. He's working that thing. So what do you think about 6.5, Marcus? Drive you crazy?
yeah, I mean, but I think, but again, VJ's been in the game so long that he knows how to manipulate the loft, and he's a pro, so he's hitting up on the ball. So 6'5", 7'5", and then presenting it at the ball probably at around 9 because he's hitting up on the ball. So he knows what he's doing. I have no
Yeah,
hate on people that are skilled enough to hit that. I just know that I would lose my mind
could
trying to
never be
play that.
you.
Never.
All right. So he's also I have this is my first kind of go around seeing this in a bag. This is the Titleist GT 280 at 13 degrees. This is their version of a mini driver. Are you guys carrying this in the store, Mike? Is this even out yet? Or
Yes,
what's the story on this one?
yes.
Okay.
So it's like any other driver, any other mini driver, just a deeper face. Um, we did see a good amount of sales in the GT 280 just because this is kind of like their first mini driver that
Right.
they've like actually released to the public. So we saw a lot of players or a lot of people want to get into it. Um, like I said, in my opinion, I'm not gonna play mini driver. I mean, it's just not. I don't want that much face. I don't want that deep of a face.
You can
Yeah.
tell even from the side profile, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
chunky, man.
Yeah.
Cam Young had a version. JT's had a version. Um, but I don't think they've put it in. I think Cam Young put it in play maybe a few weeks out of the year last year when it was in prototype and just had made the conforming list. But it's not like it's a it's a big hit regardless of the OEM.
Yeah.
It takes a special kind of person to play a mini driver. Oh, Jake Knapp, our boy Jake Knapp, he has one. I don't think he has.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the 280, but he has a mini driver as well. I mean, when you're not struggling for distance, it's a perfect little club to have in the
Right.
bag off the tee. Going into greens on long par fives and shit like that. It's a perfect club for that.
Yeah. Next one up, Callaway Elite QI. Sorry, pardon my labeling. Got tired. This is a Callaway Elite at 15 degrees, but he's planning another one at 13. And probably more so in the fairway, more than off the tee. Sorry for the labeling there. Fujikara Ventus Black Velocore plus 7X. Any thoughts here on having two similar clubs in the bag?
Probably just depends upon the week. I don't think he plays both of them at the same time, but I mean, shoot, dude has a 7X shaft in a 3-wood and a mini driver, bro. Like, this dude is ridiculous, man. He's a psycho. He's a psycho,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I mean, well, to be fair, that Velocore Plus is a little bit softer in the tip section compared to like the original Velocore and the Velocore TR, or in the the original Ventus Black and then the TR. So they did soften up the tip section in that Velocore Black, so it's not as stout as it's made out to be. Now I will say he does have that mini driver and this triple diamond kind of in that same 13-degree setting. Or actually, that mini driver is playing like at an 11, if I'm not mistaken, just because of that D1 setting. So it's going to bring
Mm.
the loft down, and I believe it. I'm not sure if it makes it upright or flat. So he's pretty much playing a 6.5-degree driver and an 11-degree mini driver and a 13-degree 3-wood.
Insane.
Yeah. This is a wild bag, crazy bag.
Then we have the Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Triple Diamond. Again, I don't think he's playing all of these in the same week, but I think he's got depending on the course, just a weird setup. But 16.5 playing at 15.5 with the Fujikara Ventus Black 9T. Again, what I was looking, I guess for me, one thing that stood out for this particular club is the amount of range time that you can tell this thing has gotten. Pretty beat up on the bottom half, and yeah, it's an older club, but the man puts in the time at the range.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And doesn't mind beating balls. Like, still gets enjoyment out of it. Still very lucid and very smooth with it. So it's not like he's out here really beating balls. He's just grooving them, staying locked
Yeah.
in, keeping his numbers, condensed and calculated.
And
I
honestly,
definitely think
for
it's
someone
an enjoyment.
with a career as long as Vijay's to have, he hasn't had these major spots of injury, where he's been out significant amounts of time. So definitely paying homage to his physical fitness. And again, you see him out on the range late, early, working the extra, but we've just not seen him injured in the same way that one of our faves, the GOAT, Tiger has been. Imagine if he had that kind of unbroken period of time where he wasn't taking time away from the course. Last but not least, on the woods, Callaway Elite Triple Diamond, 21 degrees, the 7-wood with the Fujikara Ventus Black 8 Tour X Flex, with a little bit of tape on the toe there. What do we think about this one, guys?
So the 7-wood is definitely in play in a lot of bags now. It's that 240 club for the long hitters now. Goes into greens easy, long par threes now that you see on tour, because everybody's trying to lengthen courses for some strange reason. That's not the only way to toughen up courses, but yeah, I think it's the new fad, and I think it's a really good look. I mean, it just shows you that if pros are hitting 7-woods and higher lofted woods, amateurs and not as good players need to be doing the same thing to make the game easier.
Yeah. Mike, what are your thoughts on the 7-wood versus, I think what we're seeing is the phasing out of hybrids, right? We're just not seeing as many hybrids in these pro bags anymore, giving you a
Or
little
long
more face
irons.
real estate. Right, right. I mean, outside of link style golf, you're just not going to see as many driving irons or, um, 4 irons in bags anymore. Which, again, if we're talking about pros versus amateurs, if pros are doing it, why wouldn't we as amateurs? Why would we have more ego than they do? When their level of talent is this significant, or the gap in talent is this significant. So, what are your thoughts on that? At this point, how many 7 woods are y'all putting into people's hands versus hybrids in real life?
A lot, a lot. Um, yeah, we saw huge sale in 5 and 7 woods, and even to go as far as 9 wood. Um, I think all these companies are now starting to prepare themselves more to have more inventory of these types of clubs, just because they're starting to see a lot of tour. Like we always say, if you see it on tour, more than likely it's going to end up in Joe from somewhere in his bag because they see it all over tour. It's also a lot easier. It's a lot more face. It's a lot easier to launch the club as well. Now, me personally, I still play my driving iron just because I prefer it. I'd say I'm a pretty good iron ball striker, so
Yep.
I prefer it a little bit more over a 7 wood. I've contemplated the 7 wood in my bag as well. It's just when I've hit it on the TrackMan, it's just not really set up for my distance, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
just
it
don't have
goes,
a space for it. It didn't fill any
yeah,
gaps.
correct. But I don't. I would see myself, if the numbers make sense, then yeah, to put a 7 wood in my bag over a driving iron.
You don't need
Um,
it. You need a 5 wood.
yeah, that's true. I mean, like I said, there's multiple things that they can go into many people's different bags. But just the increase that we saw of everyone, do you have a 7 wood? Can I buy a 7 wood and 7 wood this? And we're just like, sorry, we're not gonna see inventory
Right.
until like August or like something outrageous. But coming to this 2026 product season, a lot more companies have prepared themselves to have these higher lofted woods for sale, for the average consumer.
Yeah. It doesn't look like that's slowing down anytime soon for the pros
No,
either.
no, absolutely.
All right. Then we get into these irons. It was very interesting that all the irons had a number printed, of course, stamped on the bottom, but different. Well, he's got written in Sharpie on the back. The Srixon ZXi7 in the 4-3 pitching wedge with the Nippon NS and Pro Modus 3 at the Tour 105X, which we've seen this shaft become a little more popular over the last year. I want to say we did at least 2 bags where they were playing Nippon. So interesting with the numbers. Again, Vijay knows his game, knows I'm sure the clubs are bent and he just has a different number. And I don't know if that's more mental than anything. What are you guys' thoughts on that aspect of it versus just letting the number on the bottom that's stamped on the bottom be the number, but him overriding that and handwriting a number on the back? What do you think the mindset is behind that?
I mean, I really feel like if I had like I don't know. I feel like if I had unlimited funds to do shit like this, I might experiment and do stuff like this. But I mean, his 7 wood is at 21 degrees. That's normally a 4 iron, even in even in regular like lofted clubs. But pros probably play
Yeah.
like a 23 or a 24 degree four iron now. So it probably just helps him out with his gapping and stuff like that. Like you mentioned earlier, as far as like spacing through the bag and stuff. But I don't know. That's kind of tripped out to me. Again, psycho stuff. Psycho stuff to me.
Michael, what do you think, man?
Um, like yeah, like Marcus said, having access to all these really smart individuals who's know a lot about club manufacturing and shafts and heads and stuff like that, just to have access to those guys and really have the ability to mess around with lofts and lies and stuff like that. I don't see it being uncommon. Actually, prime example is Sahith Theegala. He doesn't like looking at a 7-iron,
He
so
plays two 8-irons.
he
Right.
plays 2 8-irons. So it's not uncommon. Um, but I just think it's probably a loft issue. You know, he just likes to see, I guess, a little bit more forgiveness with his 7-iron in it being in the 6-iron head. So because I mean the top line does get a little bit thicker in the long irons when it comes to those ZXI 7s. So he's maybe looking for a little bit more forgiveness in that aspect.
No doubt. All right, moving on to the wedges, which he's only carrying a couple. I mean, outside of the pitching wedge that comes with the set, the 58 and 54. I don't think I've seen this stamping before on a wedge where it says full. I'm not familiar. I'm not super familiar with the RTZ lineup from Cleveland, but I don't think I've seen a full stamp on there. What's the significance of that, Mike?
Yeah, it's just the amount of bounce that's on there. So bounce, referring to bounce is how much soul is actually interacting with the turf. So if we're looking at a full, it's going to be about 12 degrees of bounce, or that's how much soul is going to interact about 12 degrees of bounce. Now, like I said, wedges nowadays where Cleveland is more on the like the end, like now I'm not going to give you 40 options of grinds to give you. I'm going to give you three:
Right.
or full, mid, low. Um, so I do like how Cleveland does that, where they keep it a little bit more on the simplicity side and make it easier for players to select what kind of grind that they want. But that's most of the significance. It's just how much bounce it has, how much forgiveness it has. Whereas like Titleist will offer you K, D, M, S,
Right.
T, F, uh, So it's like how do you tell a person, um, hey, you need a D grind? Well, what does that mean? Or I need a K grind. What does that mean?
Right. It can get a little bit the options can kind of paralyze you. And
Correct.
yeah, so you said you played the RTX, right? Not the RTZ.
No, I play the RTZ.
Okay. So what is your bounce on your wedges?
On my 50, it's a 50 50 playing like a 49 at a mid bounce, so that is 10. My 54 playing at a 53 is a mid bounce as well at a 10. And then my 58 playing at a 57 it's a full face, so they call it the adapt, that has 6 degrees of bounce. So a
Interesting. Cool.
little bit tighter in the.
All right, and last but not least, the Odyssey two ball AI1 Cruiser. This is a broomstick. I couldn't get it all in the picture, but you can see that long grip kind of in that second image there. I mean, classic style in the two ball. I mean, you can see they've thrown the AI technology into the putter, but the look is still very much classic. I mean, this is kind of the ones they've had in the lineup for quite some time. With the smaller insert there, Marcus, what is your thought on this? If this was a standard putter, could you game it, or
No.
just I don't know? It's just a lot going on there for me.
It's too much. We've talked about this too as well. Like if I can't scoop up my golf ball with my putter, I don't want it anyways. Mike knows, you know how I roll. But no, I've never really I mean, I'm a slight art guy. The two ball is for like straight back, straight through. And if you're not disciplined enough to keep it that way, then the square to square stroke, it's not for me. But I mean, like, it's a definitely a good look. I actually like Roger Still, he had the square two ball for a while. And I like that
Hmm.
look because it kind of resembles that Spider Tour look as well as with the two ball kind of alignment stuff. So I kind of like that look if I'm doing anything with it. But yeah, it's definitely real trippy. But the AI is definitely still good. And I'm never gonna hate on an Odyssey putter. Odyssey still is very near and dear to my heart. I mean, I gamed a custom O Works for almost 6 years for the longest. So I definitely still, if it wasn't for this Phantom, I could see myself going back to like the Odyssey AI, either the Jailbird Mini. I like the look of yours, or
Yeah.
the Odyssey's the AI 7. Both of those have really good looks to me. So I don't have any hate in my heart for this.
Mike, any thoughts before we close out?
Broomsticks should be the standard of putting. That's all I gotta
Get
say.
your ass off here.
Stop trolling.
Every
Stop
week, this man
trolling.
says something that might get him kicked off.
Yes.
Like,
Really, for real.
I'm sorry.
Goofball.
I'm sorry. Overall, great putter. Classic. He's always putted with a broomstick or a longer putter.
Longer
So that's
putter.
yeah.
yes. So
He
that's
did a
not
belly putter. He did the
yeah.
arm lock putter. He's done it all. He has a
With,
funny looking
without
grip
anchoring.
without
Correct.
anchoring. He has a funny looking grip on that he uses with his broom sweeper. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
like
explain it.
that the low hand is kind of like, I don't want to say it's cupped. It's almost like a claw, but it's not a claw. I know what you're talking about.
Right. It's
Um,
contorted. It's contorted funny. I don't like I
yeah.
really
Mhm.
I mean, even with 34 wins on tour, I think had he been able to putt at a higher level, Vijay Singh is like would have been out of this world. The ball striking was always there. The putting
always.
has been his career struggle. So
Yeah.
could have been pushing numbers that would have blown our mind had he been able to putt. So that is Vijay Singh's What's in the Bag, a very interesting one. Like y'all said, kind of psycho, but also very interesting just to see people who are not dedicated to one OEM and just seeing what's best for their bag. So that one was fun to put together. All right. As mentioned earlier, and kind of leading into Vijay Singh's What's in the Bag with the Quantum, they got something going on with that club. So the Callaway Quantum hits the streets. I saw uh, several videos come out on the same day. I was like, oh, the embargo's been lifted. We're going to see Quantum uh, coverage all week. And sure enough, like I was getting a lot of stuff from Roger Steele. He took the same shaft out of his Elite Callaway Elite driver from last year. Hit some balls with it first. Put the same shaft into his Quantum. I think he's also playing the Triple Diamond. It said at the max he was gaining 20 yards for a couple of strokes, and people were like, "No way." Like you cut the footage or something. But I mean, kind of like with the TaylorMade, we're seeing these incredible jumps in ball speed as well as distance. Roger Steele was saying he had never seen ball speed numbers like that for himself. So, Mike, I know you've been able to see it up close and personal. What are your thoughts on the Callaway Quantum and its performance so far?
Fantastic. Fantastic. This is the one Callaway driver where I'm actually excited to see. Now I will say they did do some technology updates when it comes to the face. They did to make it conforming, they did have to add so with every face is going to be some form of metal, but behind it is going to be a kind of like a polycarbonate or like a silicone space between where the carbon sits. So that's what's really helping with ball speed as well. They have changed the reason why, and a lot of people say this, it looks like an AI is because a lot of the tour players couldn't get out of the AI because of how good it was performing
Mm.
for them. So what they did was, all right, well, let's make less heads because they always make 15 for some reason. So they made less heads, and kind of improved the face on it and left it more AI smoke style to it. Like I said, when I hit the Quantum in the store, when the rep brought it by and explained the science to us, ball speed went up. Like I said, I usually cruise around 165. I was at 171, carrying it 300, 330. So it's there, and it just Another thing I noticed is that it's less curve. There isn't as much like draw or fade to it. It's pretty straight. And even the rep said
Yeah.
some of his guys were complaining that it didn't curve enough. And he was like, "Is that what are you complaining about? It's
Do you
straight."
not want to hit
Yeah, is
straight
that a
balls?
bad
Are
thing?
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my beef with the AI smoke when I went and got fit a couple of years ago, is that it gave me the most speed out of all the drivers that I tested, but I could not keep it on the fairway. So when I tried the ping, I was losing ball speed, I was losing distance. I want to say I lost about 10 yards, 10 to 15 yards per drive with the ping 430 at the time. And I was like, God dang, I hate giving that up, but I also want to be able to find my ball. I don't want to lose strokes because I can't control this thing. And so, yeah, I'd be able to get it, a couple good ones in, but then that big right to left hook would come in, and I was like, this is not sustainable. I don't want to see that miss on the course. So if they've worked out the forgiveness, that's pretty
Yeah.
damn. I mean, it's tempting, and the club looks great. That's another thing
Oh,
that's striking me,
us.
is that when I'm seeing pictures of it, I'm like, this thing is sexy as a golf club.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and get you one, Rod. You know it's time.
I'm not
New
Hmm.
trying to
driver,
drop eight
Rod.
bands though. I'm not trying to drop 8 bands on a driver though. That's my problem.
But to be fair, I think we're going to see a lot of sales in that Quantum Max triple diamond. They still make a triple diamond variant, which is it's just the Quantum triple diamond. So it's going to be Quantum Max D, Quantum Max triple diamond, Quantum triple diamond, and then the Max Fast for the ladies and the seniors who kind of need help with a little bit more swing speed and launch. But instead
Yeah.
of it being where with the Elite, it was the Elite X, Elite, Elite Elite Triple Diamond, Tour Draw, Elite Triple Diamond, this, Elite Triple, like they've condensed it.
Just too many variations.
Yeah, it's too many variations, so they condensed it, and they were like, "Look, we know you like the AI. We're just going to reinvent it a little bit, and then boom." And I think they did a really, really great job with the driver this year.
Yeah, as we said it last week. If you're looking for a driver, this is the year. The jump in numbers has been impressive from all the releases that we've seen. I'll wait till we get more in hand coverage on it. Have you seen the new Cobra yet? Have you played with it yet, Mike?
Not quite just yet. I've seen the Optum. I haven't played it. And here's the other thing we're not talking about. Titleist is still yet to release their driver,
I know.
and
Summer,
and
right?
their release is in May. So we have yet to see what's coming out of the Titleist garage. So
Whew.
if the GT3 and the GT2 are still, in competition with what the QI4D, the Quantum, the Optum are putting out now, who is to say that the next line, what Titleist comes out, is going to surpass that or be the number one driver? So
Right.
there's still a lot in the air. Who is going to win this driver race?
And not to forget the Mizuno.
That
The
too.
Mizuno
Yeah, the
JPX1,
Select.
right?
Actually,
Mike
There
said
you go.
Mike said he had a bad problem. He said it didn't produce enough spin.
Which that's not. I mean,
it's good and
yeah,
bad to a fault. It's to a
depends on the
fault.
player, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All
Anyways,
right. Quantum. What do you think, Marcus? Anything that stands out to you or just like impressed you about it so far from what
I
you've
mean
seen?
it's a really good looking club. I definitely have I've seen it and it looks really good down by the ball. It definitely is a sexy club.
No doubt. All right, let's keep it moving. PGA Tour. I'm gonna leave this kind of slide up. We talked about the Brooks Koepka. It's been an ever evolving story. The returning member program, pretty much is it's set up to attract a very specific set of players, those that have won majors from 2022 on. This would include Cam Smith, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rome. We saw Brooks Koepka make his return, pay his $5 million fine. Of course, there's going to be money that he's going to have to return and live. They intentionally, it seems very intentional that the PGA Tour did not go back to 2021, which would have
For
included Phil
Phil.
Mickelson. Yep.
Right.
Line in the sand. Like, sir, you've slandered us. You've talked the most shit about the PGA Tour, even though we've provided you a hell of a living up to this point. So these guys have until I want to say it's the first week, February 2nd. I forget what the deadline is, and I don't think it's on this
Their first
screen
week.
cap.
Their
Yeah,
first week in
from the first
Riyadh.
tournament, right? So they have up until that point to accept this offer. They did a press conference, and my next slide actually, Bryson DeChambeau. I'm just going to say right off the top, the drama, the kind of he's going to call it showmanship. I call it drama. To have that press conference where he provides this really lukewarm, like, oh, my contract is through 2026. Okay, so is Brooks Koepka's, right? John Rahm, again, lukewarm. I didn't see many quotables from Cam Smith when they were talking about this at a preseason. But next slide, you see Bryson DeChambeau post this onto his social media. What would you do? And very cryptic. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's always about the presentation and the show. What are your thoughts? Do you think any of those three guys that have an opportunity to return are going to return? What are y'all's assessment on that?
No. I think
What? Go ahead. Sorry.
I think John Rahm has too much money tied up in Live right now to where I feel like it wouldn't be financially responsible for him to leave that much money on the table. I know he got a lot up front, but the amount that he would be given back if he just broke contract,
Right.
I don't think it'd be worth it. I think Cam Smith is trying to line himself up to get re-signed for one more big contract. And then maybe after, another 3 years or so, maybe he tries to work his way back. I think DJ is on his way out. That's why he signed that other 3-year extension. And then I think he's gonna be officially
Like
done. I mean,
retired.
he's already low 40s or something like that. He'll still have a chance to watch his kids grow up. I think he's got 2 kids or whatever with daughter Goretzky. So me and Rod have had extensive conversations about DeChambeau. He's a weirdo. I don't have a lot of positive things to say, and this is very weird of him to go about it this way as well. Like he's really trying to lobby his fan base to kind of just throw some numbers out there. Well, this is what the media is saying. This is how much I should be
Right.
getting. Dude, you got a
Which
whole
we hear which
you
we
got a
hear that
whole
he's asking for
agency, bro.
500 million.
Yeah, bro. You have a whole sports agency. You need to be talking behind closed doors when it comes to this much money, bro. The fanfare ain't gonna help you. We know you have fans. We know you have clout. Let's keep it at that and let the money do the talking. Go talk with these reps and get as much as you can. Squeeze them. You have a lot of leverage as it is. You don't need fanfare for
Yeah.
that, bro. You're the biggest thing on the tour right now by clear and far. Sorry, John Rahm. You're kind of washed, bro. We're just at this.
I would that's going far.
I'm
John Rahm's not washed,
He's
but
not washed,
he
but
John, he
He's
is. I
second right
mean, in
now.
terms of popularity, we're talking about eyes to the game. Yeah, DeChambeau, his YouTube channel, the distance, all of it creates fanfare around him. Even though we see straight through it, and the PR campaign only lasted all of about 9 months, and then he kept letting the mask slip, and it's like, all right, bro,
Right.
we know who you really are, but Mike, you were about to say you think one of them's coming back. Who do you think is coming back?
Rom. I think
I
that'd be
mean,
the
You think
logical.
Rom?
he's
That'd
expressed
be
the most regret. It would make the most
yeah.
sense.
And I was gonna say it'd make the most sense for him to come back and actually. I mean, like we talk about, Live is just it's had its growing pains. It's had its moments where now they're trying to make it more like a more respectable tour.
Mm-hmm.
But he still continues to say, "Oh, I should have never left the PGA Tour. I want to, So in my opinion, I think if the most logical out of the three is going to be Rom, Cam Smith. I don't think he wants to come back. DeChambeau, they're going to give it to him. I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to be like, nah. I mean, like you said, he is their golden child right now, and he's really,
Yeah.
especially on top of the like the live playoff stuff that they do with the content creators. Um, he is the driving force. He pretty much is the face of live right now, and in my opinion, it. I mean, if you're gonna pay me 500 million, here we go. I'll
Right,
stay.
son.
I'll
Yeah,
you
it's
know
a lot of money. I mean,
yeah
it's a lot. I mean, it's an amount of money that you should never be able to spend in one lifetime. Um,
yeah.
I think, I think the rub is, does the league continue to go on? I think that's like, okay, cool. You paid this one man $500 million. They're still up in the air about getting official world golf ranking points. I've said that they need to ride it out for the full year. I wouldn't award them points until they play a full season. Probably they need to remove the team aspect. I think that's another excuse or reason that official world golf ranking can utilize to say, hey, this team format does not work, for us to be able
The
to rank
shotgun
people. It takes
start
away
doesn't
from,
work.
right. There's a lot of factors, right? So yeah, 72 holes is a good step forward, but it's not the end all be all. There's other reasons why they could still be denied after this is all said and done. But we're seeing again just the disintegration of the league, the one for one trade offs. We joked, okay, Ben on PGA Tour player who talked mad crap about Liv for years. I don't know what he got. I don't know. There weren't even rumors about how much money he got, but he takes over the newly named Korean golf club, which was the Ironheads, as Kevin Na departs. Who knows where Kevin Na is going to be playing golf going forward? So Ben On goes over, replaces Kevin Na, replaces Brooks Koepka. The trade offs right now are not great. What Liv is getting back versus what PGA Tour is receiving. Marcus sent me a post from, I think it was golf.com, and Pat Reed just readily saying, like, let's just be honest, the PGA Tour is the better league right now. I,
It's still the
the
best tour.
the wheels are falling off, bro. So I don't know. Like, I think we'll know. Does Liv go on? Does Liv kind of go to pasture based on what happens with Bryson DeChambeau? If he leaves, it's over for them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
There's
a
no way.
different.
There's no way forward, right? If he leaves and comes back to the PGA Tour, they might as well just say, "Hey, this is our farewell season. We're going to be done. We're going to pay out these contracts, but we're wrapping this shit up, right?" Because I mean, what's the path forward at this point? These young
They
guys are not
don't
going to be
they,
enough.
they don't have enough international stardom, bro. Like for it to be a worldwide tour, you're like grasping and like barely getting a few just reaches. Like John Rahm doesn't have as much pull in Spain anymore. He's very much assimilated into American culture. He's
Yeah,
been in Arizona for so long. Like now, if he moves back to Spain and starts really defending, Spain,
yeah,
what
playing
I
all
don't
the
know,
opens and
yeah,
yeah,
the Fireball or whatever their team name is. I don't know.
I think
Because
they're
the
like
because
Fireball
Legion
GC.
something.
yeah, because Torque
He's
is the
Legion. Yeah,
Chilean group. Oh, you're right,
yeah,
Legion 13. Sorry,
Legion.
sorry, sorry. Um, yeah,
but I
Cam
think
Smith has got a small corner with Lucas
that,
Herbert and Matt Jones and all them. But what are we talking about? You not
yeah,
besides Ben
they're trying to go
on
regional.
right?
They're trying to go
Besides Ben
regional.
on, who else on Korean GC do y'all know? I don't know any of the other three players. Not off the top of my
Uh,
head.
Da-
Never seen them
Danny
before in
Lee.
my life. Who is that?
I don't know.
Ain't that
You know,
well? Is he not? But Danny Lee is he not New Zealand? Is he? He's not Korean. He's from New Zealand or Australia or whatever.
Maybe maybe Korean by heritage and where he was born. Let's see if they've changed it.
But
Um,
he was repping New Zealand for the longest when he was on the PGA
you know
before
who
he
else?
started developing yips and stuff or whatever. Ian Poulter ain't got no pull. Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, the British group, Richard Bland, 55-year-old ass, bro. They ain't got no international pull, bro.
So we
You
got
know who
Ben
I like.
on Danny Lee, uh, Jungwon Song,
No
and
clue.
Mingku Kim. Never heard
No
of him.
clue.
Yeah.
I mean, bro,
Um,
if they would have grabbed maybe Matt Fitzpatrick or something like that, I get it. Or if you bring
No.
Tyrrell Hatton on and bring him into that British squad, I get it. But he's Legion 13 with the hodgepodge of John Rahm, Caleb Surratt,
Caleb
and then
Surratt.
whatever random
I
fourth they
forget
can
about him.
drag up through the promotions. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Anthony Kim this year. Who knows?
you know
By
What
who
the
were you
way, we
saying,
did it.
Michael?
I'm sorry. We keep cutting Mike off. What's up?
you know how else I would extend an invitation to back to the tour? Joaquin Neiman. I would, in my opinion. I like Joaquin.
If he wants
Yeah,
to, he don't want to though.
I right. I don't know. Like I would feel if I was him, I would feel slighted from
I'm
last year
good. Yeah, I'm
to
good.
win 5 times. No, I mean it's weird because I think again we're talking about these players who are really good players. Joaquin Neiman is a really good player, but we don't see the best of him. Right? He shows up to majors and shits the bed every time
Yeah,
because he's not being prepared for high level golf on live golf. He won 5 times last year, did not win their individual championship. Rom won that without a win. The system's jacked up.
yeah,
You're not having to bring your very best every week to win. It it's just flawed. And so I feel bad for these guys that I mean, cool, you made your choice, you got your money, but in terms of your legacy, you go over here to be forgotten. Like we're mentioning people, it's like, damn, he is on live. But because we don't watch it, it's at weird times. They don't get a lot of TV coverage. Um, you just forget about them, and then they
yeah.
don't perform in the majors outside of Bryson DeChambeau. Tom McKibben's the last one on Legion 13, which is Marcus hates Tom McKibben. So yeah, man, we've talked about it. It's a dead horse that we beat the shit out of. So we'll keep it moving. But yeah, that was the last official slide from this week. Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Well,
yeah.
I'm just excited. Golf is finally upon us, and we're getting to see live golf again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
excited
felt,
about. We get to see Scotty second tournament of the week of the
Hey,
yeah.
year.
I felt like we've been doing a really good job of staying even kill about live. So I'm gonna just apologize on my behalf for just really going down that path of just hateration. Because again, if they present a good product, there's nothing to hate about. You know,
Right.
like I was saying, y'all want to they're emphasizing pace of play. Okay, cool. You do your shotgun start, everybody pays in 440 under 5 or whatever. You got a limited field as it is, bro. You're telling me 60-man fields and under are gonna play in 5-hour rounds? It make sense, bro. You don't have full field events. You're not pushing
Yeah.
130 on one course, bro. You don't have 30 tee times in a row to get out and get everybody played in morning ways and afternoon ways. So there's still ways for you to get your 440, 445 in if you still do tee times because you're only going to have 13 or 14 tee times, bruh. Like, be for
Yeah.
real. Like, anyways, that's my last little stint on that. Good luck to them. John Rahm, whenever you're ready, Oh, by the
You know where
way,
to find the tour.
right, Riyadh is February 4th through the 7th. So it's got to be like February 1st or something like that. So
This
they still got 2 weeks.
yeah, the number that sticks in my head was like the second, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um Yeah, bro. Congratulations to Indiana for winning the
Yeah,
national
they
championship.
did.
That's crazy,
Yep.
bro. That's crazy.
Yes.
Fucking Indiana.
Undefeated. They ran the table. Signetti was talking big shit. He
Yep.
said, he said, look me up, bro. I'll win. And it was probably one of the coldest quotes ever, bro.
No,
And
yeah,
he
that was
backed
tough.
it all the way up. It was
That was tough.
tough, bro.
Literally
And he
a
backed it
million
all
aura
up.
points. A million aura points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me we're not in the world is not in the upside down, where Indiana basketball is unheard of and Indiana football is winning national championships. We are in
It's
the upside down.
it is all NIL. It is all NIL. That's all it is. Indiana has the money. They can pay their student athlete. At this point, they're not student athletes anymore. They're being paid
Mm-mm.
like they're being paid like professional
Uh,
athletes. No,
not
no, sir.
Indiana. Not Indiana. Indiana has the oldest average age in the NCAA right now. They're all about to graduate, so they're gonna have to do a
Oh,
big reset. He got
that
a bunch of
too.
transfers. He got a bunch of
But
transfers and portals and stuff to
Yeah.
follow
but
him.
also honestly, watch out for Vanderbilt next year. They got the NIL money too. Georgia has it.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
no, no, no. It's true.
Okay.
It's
Let
not.
put that
They're
on
both
record.
frauds.
Vandy for next year.
Vanderbilt or Georgia. I mean, of course, Georgia's the Power Five SEC team is gonna,
Right.
you know, but
Anyways.
never in 100 years would you have said, "Yo, Indiana and Miami are gonna play in the college football in the national title game."
Yeah. If
Right.
anything, Miami ran the table. But
Yeah.
both of them, let's not be crazy. Both of them are proteges of Big Dog Saban. I mean,
True.
they're from the same tree. It's we're gonna see that shit in every sport possible. We saw it with the Belichick tree. We saw it with the Greg Popovich tree. We've seen it in every aspect. If you have a successful dynasty or any kind of success, your assistant coaches are gonna take those aspects and build upon them and add their own little trinkets. Signetti did it. Mario Cristobal did it. Um, Lane Kiffin did it before he ditched Ole Miss. He got on the top six. You know what I'm saying? All these guys
Well,
are from are from
Lane
Hall of Famers.
Lane Kiffin is like the biggest,
Just
uh,
grimy. He's been
Yeah.
doing
just
it for
a
years.
prostitute, such a prostitute.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Slutting himself
Um,
out.
Straight up, has Brian Kelly got another job already yet?
No.
No.
He
He's still
living on
out
he
there,
living
free
on
agent.
cash out. Yeah, he living on cash out money. He
Yeah.
fine. I don't
Oh,
think
I
he
know
got
he.
did he get I don't think I'm trying to think about how it relates to James Franklin because James Franklin got 48 mil in it straight up in his buyout clause from Penn State. I'm just trying to remember if Brian Kelly's buyout clause was similar or less or more. I don't think it's got to be more. I think it's got to be maybe in like
I
the
think he was
30s,
one of
maybe
the
the
highest
20s or
paid
something.
at the time. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
but I
like
don't
his
know about
was
his
would have been
buyout clause though, or like for getting fired or whatever.
right.
Hmm.
His annual definitely
Mike,
was up there.
let's see here.
Yes.
Second search result. Brian Kelly buyout will get entire $54 million
Jesus
from
Christ.
LSU.
Fools. Now they have
That's
money.
fucking
Now they
Yeah.
crazy.
have NIL money.
Because they're still, I think they're still paying Orgeron, and now they're paying Brian Kelly.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy.
Woo.
My
Fools.
God.
It is what it
All
is.
right. Any other randomness before we hop off? I know Mike said something early on
Yes.
that you were you
Yes. I'm gonna make this very brief. I'm gonna do my best and I get very passionate about my Texans. Okay. To the people of the city
okay.
of Houston. All right. And it ain't
You're
many. It
already
ain't many.
pointing at the screen.
Yeah, I'm angry. Okay. I understand that this is the best year that we had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Okay. But let's not deny the fact that we were playing the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL. Okay. So I'm going to give the Patriots their flowers. They did a really good job, and it's also in Gillette Stadium. Gillette Stadium ain't an easy place to play at. All right. On top of that, CJ Stroud, this is his third year in the league. 3 playoff berths in 3 years. Okay. Now, when Davis Mills was quarterbacking, I'm sorry, what was our record again? 3 and what? 3-13, 3-14. Are we serious right now? And how are we not talking about Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, any of the other notable quarterbacks who lost in the playoffs, who were touted to go to the Super Bowl or be Super Bowl contenders? I'm sick of this CJ Stroud slander. Sick of it. That is all I have to say. That is like T.O. said, that's my quarterback. That is my quarterback. I stand by CJ Stroud. Okay. And I best believe he will put in the offseason work to get better, and he will come back next year and it'll look like his rookie season. Okay.
I mean, the
And that's
tape's
it.
out on CJ Stroud. He's just got to improve
That is it.
and adapt from there. It's been a battle, but shout out to our Mavs, me and Rod's Mavs. They keep battling. I think they're trying to really spite the front office because they could easily mail it in, and Jason Kidd could be trolling with the lineups and stuff like that. But they're still going out and willingly trying to win games and develop Cooper Flag the right way. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting out a winning product. Look, they was drubbing the Knicks most of the game. Knicks made a late run, but yeah, they was down 30 pretty much. The second quarter was real ugly for New York. We had a little explosion. Pause. Max Christie had him. He had like 20 in the first half with a plus minus of like 28. We scored 75 points in the first half, bro. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm not gonna give up on them. I mean, that's my team. But
two games out of the 10th spot. Do they
for the
pull
play-in
themselves up?
Yes.
I think they do because Kyrie's on his way back. I think he makes it back before like All-Star break. There's no way he sits out the whole season.
Especially if they are able to keep it close. If they slip back, I think that they keep him sidelined all year. But if they have a chance, I think you're right.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I don't know why AD keeps trying to fight the allegations about trades and being feeble-bodied and stuff like that, bro.
Good God. That
Please,
man,
oh my
what
God,
what was that graphic I sent you? 151 unique injuries.
Unique injuries. Not even days out or games missed. Unique injuries, bro. Like the interior groin that he messed up versus the Rockets after going 26-16 with like 6 blocks through 3 quarters. Like, bro,
Great when he's on the floor, but again,
oh man,
what do they say?
to see.
The best ability is availability, and that man is
Right.
never available. So, all right, y'all, it's been real. We covered a lot today. Enjoyed the new format and just kind of mixing it up, kept things moving. Bearder Bros Golf Show. We will be back at it again. Finally, the season is here. Live golf. It's gonna be another good week this coming week. So looking forward to it. We're gonna see how Scotty does. We're gonna get the second half of the Dubai swing on the DP World Tour. Exciting stuff happening. I am Rod.
I'm Marcus.
And I'm Michael.
Catch y'all next week.